Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Augusto Argandoña Fine Arts. Anytime in this narrated tutorial, you can click on the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel. If you want to learn about my virtual classes or want to see my paintings, you may do so by visiting my website at aafinearts.com. This tutorial is about how to paint a park setting with a fountain and some people around the park, around the fountain. I took a photograph for this painting at a beautiful park called Forsyth Park in Savannah, Georgia. Very, very, very beautiful park. And I thought this would be a wonderful painting. So I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna do this painting. The fountain is over here. And then after I'm finished, I'm going to show how to do the water kind of splitting from the fountain from this upper area onto the fountain. I'm going to paint the background very loosely and concentrate on the details on the fountain and the people around it. And there will be a lot of shadow areas. This walkway, it's a very long walkway leading to this fountain, and it's almost like a canopy walk because big trees are on both sides of this walk, and they'll pretty much cover the area. So there's a lot of shadows will be on the concrete here. So without much ado, I'm gonna go ahead and start this tutorial. I'm gonna start by painting the people. I like to paint whenever I have I put people in a painting. I like to paint the people first because then I can be a little bit more precise with the clothing, the posture, and things like that. And then the rest of the painting will be paint around them. So I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna use some burnt sienna for either burnt sienna or burnt umber for the heads and faces like that. So I'm gonna put this gentleman like this, a little bit of white hair there, a little bit of yellow ochre also, and this arm with hand in his pocket. This gentleman over here will have the same treatment. A little bit of white hair. The arm here, like that. With a little bit lighter colors in some areas. This lady over here. And this other lady here, and there's a little bit of more of the burnt sienna there. There, like this. I'm going to do some highlights later. There's people in the distance on the other side of the fountain. The colors are going to be a little lighter. This is part of the fountain, so I'm going to do like that. And also do this German shirt, pretty bright. Like that. And I'm going to put, just to add interest, I'm going to do one more person here with a similar color clothing there, like that. Those who have a white shirt are a little different. So I'm going to use some ultramarine with yellow ochre to create a sort of kind of a gray, kind of warm gray for this guy here. White shirt. like that. And he will have a dark slacks. Yeah, like that. So the gentleman sitting down will have dark slacks also. Crossing his legs. Yeah. Like that. And there's another person here with very dark clothing, carrying something. Yeah, like that, there. And there'll be somebody with a red, there's always somebody with a red blouse or something like that. Yeah, like that. And somebody else will have a yellowish color top with kind of a bluish, grayish bottom, shorts or something like that. There. And this gentleman will have a dark colored top with brown slacks or something. Probably too much then. Yeah, like that. And we'll put somebody here is going to have a blue top. And dark slacks. Yeah, like that. I'm going to put somebody else with, kind of a pink blouse, like that, on the other side of that fountain. This other person will have a bluish type, maybe a little different color, maybe an orange. Yeah. I'll stop there like that. And this person here will have a kind of a brownish, reddish pants. Yeah. All right. So my people are done. Now, so I'm gonna do this lamp also. Might as well do it now. I'm gonna put a little bit of like that. They're mostly white, but I'm gonna do a little bit of color on one side. Like that. And the posts themselves are dark, almost black. So I'm gonna do that too. Yeah. Like that. There, all that's done. Okay, so on one more thing, I'm gonna do this bench that this gentleman is sitting on. And the corresponding armrests and all that stuff. The legs. There. All right, now we do the painting, the rest of the painting. I'm gonna use quite a bit of water for the background. I'm gonna use a larger brush also. And I'll be careful not to touch the fountain. And like that. Quite a bit of water. In fact, I'm gonna, to be more careful with that, I'm gonna use a smaller brush. Like that. There, on that side. Now I'm gonna go back to the larger brush and just connect all that water. Avoid those areas that I just painted. Just put a lot of water here. My surface is probably about 10-15 degrees incline, so I have to compensate for that. So I'm gonna go here and do with a smaller brush, I'm gonna do the edging of this fountain again, like I did on the other side. I don't like to use masking fluids or any type of masking. I prefer to paint this way. Go around these figures. And then go back with the water brush and connect all that water. Yeah. Make sure that everything is covered, and it is. Also going to, with a thirsty brush, I'm going to remove some of the water from the edges of that fountain. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is, there's too much over here. I'm going to blot that out. Okay, now I'm going to change brushes to a flat brush and pick up some of the colors that I'm going to use for the foliage. I'm going to use quite a bit of raw sienna, aureolin yellow, and cerulean blue. There, that's beautiful. See, the water is running, so I'm gonna have to put my board pretty much horizontal now. I don't want any of this to run into the white fountain. This is the reason why I like to do the figures first, because I can control everything there like that. I'm going to put a little bit more of the cerulean blue. And this lamp post also I can control more. More of the cerulean blue, raw sienna. These trees are going to be fairly dark, so I don't mind covering them with color right now. Paper is drying rather quickly here, so I got to paint quite fast. There, like that. And do the same thing on the other side. Paper is drying very, very fast, so I'm gonna add more water to my brush. There. More of this bluish green. Like that. Okay, so now I'm going to remove some of this. So I pretty much blocked the entire fountain really nicely. So now I'm going to add a little bit more of just those colors and start bringing other colors into this mixture. And some cooler colors also. And combine some cobalt blue with this green and add some cool colors in some areas. Warmer colors in other areas. The other reason why I do the figures first is because I can leave some white around them when I'm painting the background. On some here, and not over here, but some over there. Okay, now I'm going to start adding different other colors as well. Bring some Nigan Bosch, maybe a little bit of raw sienna and the ultramarine blue. Just make a very wet and wet blending of colors here, like that. I'm going to start cooling down some of these colors also. Yeah. When you bring some permanent sap green with cobalt blue. Very loosely. very loose painting here. Like that. Start shaping some of the greenery, the foliage also. Like that. There, like that. Some darker here. And I'm going to change brushes now to brown brush and go back with those colors. Start shaping some of the foliage, but not too much because I want to very loose in the background. Give a little bit of a feel of the foliage. Introduce another color, ultramarine and new gamboge with a beautiful green. All while the paper is wet. They're getting some of the effect of the foliage here. I'm going to change brushes to a small, different type of brush here. Like that. I'm going to bring in some undersea green, which is a different type of green, and some ultramarine blue. And do a little bit of the foliage effects here, like this. Like that. A little bit more. Darker blues, especially over here. And like that. Same thing over here. And I'm going to start darkening some areas with Payne's Gray, the permanent sub-green, and sepia. Wake up, computer. There we are. Especially in these areas. No. Not too much. In fact, I'm going to blend some of those areas. Use more ultramarine with the permanent sub green, and come over here. Paper is still kind of damp, it's not wet, it's not dry yet. Maybe too much texture there, so I'm gonna start minimizing that. Go back to the brush I was using and add some of the texture here. Still with a wet paper. Okay, on this side, I'm going to do some quite dark areas. Really, really dark in this area, this side. Almost dry, so I'm going to minimize, add a little bit more moisture to my brush. There. I'll let the paper dry now. Like that. While that's drying, I'm going to clean my brush really well and pick up some raw umber with the gray that's in my palette, and I come over here and do this concrete. It'll be mostly white because of the shadows that are going to be here. But I'm going to add some of those colors. Raw umber and ultramarine blue. A little bit more of the ultramarine. There, yeah. I will be able to pick up some highlights later. There. I hope they didn't move too much. There, I'm sorry about that. There we go. Now I will do this is pretty much almost still drying. I'm gonna let that dry. While that's drying, I'm gonna paint the foliage that's below here. I'm gonna use some aureole in yellow and rose sienna for this little bush. Here, and I put a little bit of under sea green and sepia for some of the darker sections. Yeah, like that. And this foliage over here will be will have more of real and yellow. This was going to be in the shade, so I'm going to use a little bit more of the cool greens here. Maybe it's a little bit of the white there at the top, because it's getting some of the sunlight there too. But here at the bottom is going to be cooler. These areas are going to have, these bushes are going to be lighter in color, kind of warm greens. I gotta do the legs for that lady there, so. Like that. This other bush is going to be quite different in color. I'm going to use some raw sienna with the green, and this is going to be a little warmer. Shape the head of this gentleman. Leave some whites here and there. Yeah, different type of green. But I'm going to darken some of those areas at the bottom. Leave some of the whites at the top, because all these bushes are getting some sunlight. While these are a little darker at the bottom. Yeah, like that. On the other side of this area, there's also greenery. So I'm going to bring that over here like that. It'll be lighter. A little bit more of the real and yellow. Don't do away with the whites there, sparkled by the sun. All right, I'm gonna let that dry. While that's drying, I'm gonna bring some burnt umber and yellow ochre for the mulch, dirt or something on this side. Blend it right into that greenery, like that. Right, now I'll let that dry. This is drying really nicely. I'm not gonna do anything on top of there until everything is dry. But I'm gonna go. This is almost dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and do those shadows. For that, I'm gonna pick up some cobalt blue, a little bit of brown matter, and the raw umber, and come over here, and these shadows are gonna be here now. Connect those shadows there like that. Yeah, like that. Now I'm going to tackle the fountain. For that I'm going to use a smaller brush, smaller round brush. If I find my round brush, here's my round brush. So I'm going to pick up some yellow ochre and there's some details of this fountain there, like that. Also pick up a little bit of purplish color. Leave some white at the top of the structure. Like that. And change brushes to smaller. And pick up some, I think I'm going to use some cerulean blue. Yeah. Like that. Maybe a little bit of manganese blue. Yeah, there we are. There we are. Leave some white areas. Oh, there's beautiful transparent colors here. Beautiful colors. Also a little bit of cobalt blue, plain cobalt blue. There, like that. Ooh, really nice. Just a few touches. There. Especially on the side there. And the details. I'm gonna pick up some of the gray that's in my palette also. Yeah. Here. Right. Okay, we'll let that dry. When that's drying, I'm gonna remove this green that's over here. Maybe too late. I'll use a different brush. No, it's all right. There we are. Okay, I think I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of the manganese blue and do a little bit more darker in here. There, like that. There, like that. Good. There's also pick up a little bit more of the manganese, and there's some, I guess, water, and I think it's just the color of the coloration on the fountain wall. There's some white here too, but I'm gonna leave some a little white, mostly that bluish tint. Okay, this is dry. Yeah, it's almost dry. So now I'm gonna do the trees. This is almost dry. Yeah. So for that, I'm going to use quite a bit of sepia and Payne's gray and burnt umber. Ultramarine blue. Quite a bit of those colors here. More ultramarine and sepia. Leave a little bit of a white edge by that bench. There. And I'm going to change brushes and shape this gentleman's figure and head. His white hair. Like that. Quite a bit of burnt umber here. I'm gonna add more of those colors. Like that. And now I'm gonna get a different type of brush and do some darker. Yeah, this is dry. Darker branches. Like that. I think I'm gonna wait. It's still kind of wet, so I'm gonna wait for that. While I'm waiting for that, I'm gonna shape that fountain a little bit more. Like that. Yeah. And then there's a railing that's really black over here. And it has a shape like this. Yeah, like that. So I'm also going to darken some of these figures a little bit more. This is, I'm going to put another one over here. like that. And I'm gonna wait for that to dry. While that's drying, I'm gonna darken this lamp post. There, like that. And they bring some of the green in between these trees. Over here also I'm gonna get some green. Like that. I think I'm gonna have to use a hair dryer. There's gonna be a little bit of noise here, so please bear with me. I have to use this hair dryer. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about the noise. Great. Thank you. Well, now I can do this polish. Yeah, like that. It's still kind of wet. But we'll do it that way. A bit more water on my brush. That. A little bit more ultramarine. And here we'll do another, this branches coming out of the other side. use a different type of brush. Yeah, like that. I'm gonna get a bigger brush for some of the finer branches. Like that. So now I'm going to use a round brush, mostly a dry type brush, and pick up some under sea green, quite a bit of Payne's gray, and almost a dry brush effect. I'm going to do some foliage here. Like that. Yeah. A little bit more, and quite darker. Against the light green background. And then also, I'm going to do a little bit of texture in here also. For some of the definition of some of the trees that are in the middle ground. There. Yeah, like that. Maybe a little bit more over here. And then I'm going to pick up some of this brush and do some branches. I think I'm going to do a different brush. I'm gonna darken those shadows. A little bit more, darken them a little bit more. Yeah, like that. And also these trees, these tree trunks, I'm gonna create them a little bit of definition also. Create some very soft texturing. There. Same thing on this one. Lift in color to create that effect. Yeah. Okay. And oh, I gotta do the legs on that lady. Yeah. And lastly, I'm gonna take some white acrylic, and I'll show you how to do the water coming out of with white acrylic. Do this. The effect of that the water being sprayed. Yeah. And lastly, I'm going to take a smaller brush, a smaller flat brush, and start picking up some highlights in these shadows. Like that. There, like that. And now I'm gonna remove this tape, bring some a dark board. You're gonna see how this looks like. dartboard will be much easier to see and appreciate. Here comes the dartboard. And there it is, the Forsyth Park in Savannah, Georgia. Thank you for watching this tutorial and hope you enjoy my painting. Please visit my website at aafinearts.com, where you will see information about my virtual classes and selection of my paintings and prints. Until next time, straighten it. There we are.